What? What? What do you mean we're filming? Is the camera on? What am I supposed to do? What film of what? Oh, right. Hi. Video. Welcome to this month's Commander Dorm video, and today we're gonna talk about Kalitas, Traitor of Ghet EDH Commander deck. Yes, alright. So, Kalitas Traitor of Ghet is a 3/4 for 2 anything and 2 black. He has a lifelink and the ability if a non-token creature an opponent controls would die, instead exile that card and put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. And you can pay 2 and a black, sacrifice another vampire or zombie, and put 2 +1/+1 counters on Kalitas. So, this deck is a it's not a tribal deck. A lot of people who run Kalitas as their commander very much want to run a vampire or zombie tribal deck. I'm not against that in any way. That's what it's used for. That's probably the reason he's printed. But I find it a lot better to exploit his sacrificing ability. And the fact that he has a dying trigger, which gives me zombies. Right, so onto the deck. We are running 29 basic Swampers. Just 29 of these good guys. We're also running a Mortuary mire, which gives us a dude back from the graveyard. Urborg, Tomb of Yawgmoth, just, you know, I make the 4 utility lands we got in here swamps to just tap for more mana. You'll see why. Polluted mire, which is usually always a draw a card. I've never actually played Polluted mire as a land. Bojuka for the mirror games. Ghost Quarter for that sweet budget strip mine. Right, I can words. Onto creatures, we have Diregraf Colossus, which can at best become like an 8/8 or 10/10 depending on my bin. Black Cat, which is very good in this deck. I call it it's a she to me. She very much disrupts the hand a lot because she always comes back. Necromancer's assistant to get guys in my bin. Nightmare, which is usually always a 29/29. Not always. Bloodsoaked Champion for a good turn 1 drop. Or turn 1 creature. Desecration Demon. Yes. Soul of Innistrad. Gravedigger, get a guy back. Haruspex draws approximately like 5 cards a turn if the deck allows it. Avatar of Woe, which is always a 6/5 for 2. Crypt Ghast doubles my mana. All my manas are doubled. Vampire Nighthawk, which of course you gotta run Vampire Nighthawk. It's a black deck, I mean, come on. Bloodthorne Vampire, which is crazy good in this deck. She is always there. She's a very good sack outlet, and because she gets bigger, it's just she can, like in 1 turn, she can become like a 20/20 and just swing in for lethal because you sacrifice with a combo with Grave Pact and Butcher of Malakir, which is also in this deck. They sacrifice 2 creatures every time you sacrifice 1. And because of Kalitas, you get 2 zombies because of that, right? So you just board wipe their entire board and you just swing in with your 30/30 vampire. It's a good game. Burnished Hart which is basically just prime time. Gary, Merchant of Asphodel, which is also a good game ender because if you reanimate him or play him late in the late game, where you just got a lot of things, you know, it becomes very, very good. Herald of Leshrac, Very good reanimation target. Relentless Dead, which is, you know, it's a zombie. It's a 2/2. It's a bear. You know, it's got menace. It's pretty good. Shriekmaw for sweet old removal. Uncle Istvan, because you know the flavor text is superb. Necropolis Regent, just to make your guys bigger. Fleshbag Marauder to you know, removal. Butcher of Malakir, part of the Bloodthorne combo. Arcfiend of Depravity, just to, you know, mess with the opponent. Sidisi Undead Vizier, which is unlimited demonic tutors. Obnixilus Unshackled for the mirror game, so you can't tutor anymore. Drana Liberator of Malakir, a very good attacker. She usually becomes just bigger. She becomes bigger and bigger, and with a few tools in the deck, she becomes even bigger. As for instants and stuff like that, we got Murderous Cut, a very good removal spell, which is 1 black, destroy target creature in most cases. Dismember, -5/5, good old classic. Doomblade, you know, get him away. Hero's Downfall, Tragic Slip, very good against Eldrazi's. In Garrick's Wake, for the only board wipe in here. It will be changed with Damnation once Damnation becomes available to me somehow. Profane Command, because, you know, I like to choose. Tainted Pact, which is not that good in EDH or Commander, but it works in this deck, usually. Cremate, which is just a draw card. It's a cantrip. That's what it is. Exhume. Very good reanimation spell. The only downside is, of course, that your opponent also gets to take out a creature, but in most cases, your creature is usually always better than theirs, so, you know. Dark Ritual, Hippie Magic. Rise of the Dark Realms, which is also bonkers good in this deck, because there's always a lot of things in everyone's graveyard. Buried Alive, very good. The cheap Entomb, as I like to call it. Read the Bones, you know, drawing cards are good. Ever After, which is a sweet reanimation spell. It gets 2 creatures, they become zombies, so they're viable for Kalitas to eat, and you get the spell back, because, you know, it goes to the bottom of your library. How good is that? Hypnoturek, hand attack's always good. Zombify, you know, basic reanimation spell. It's a bit expensive for 4 mana, but it usually does the work very good. Sign in Blood, you know, always signing. Dread Return, more reanimation. Demonic Tutor for, you know, sweet old classic. Skull Tap, which is double cantrip. Reanimate, sorry. And finally, for our instants and sorceries, we got Diabolic Tutor. So there's a theme going on here, where you just want to tutor, and you just want to reanimate and tutor, and, you know, that's it. We got, for artifacts, we got a Whip of Erebos. We got Shard of Broken Glass, which is very good. Puts guys in the bin very effectively. Caged Sun, to make the games unfair. This guy, along with Crypt Ghast, just makes the game not fun for the other ones. Soul Ring, you know, classic. Expedition Map, which is also, you know, very auto-including. Not really in this deck, but it's fun to run. Phyrexian Arena, as for enchantments, we got a Phyrexian Arena, which is always good. We got a Diabolic Servitude, which is a reanimation, but it has the downside of exile, but sometimes it's very good to have in hand. Recurring Nightmare, which is one of the key parts of this deck. I know it's banned, but, you know, playgroup and special rules and stuff like that, so no one has caught on how bad Recurring Nightmare is yet. Black Market for good manas, a Italian Necropotentia. Bitter Blossom, because we're just playing black here, so we might as well. Grave Pact, very good, also part of the Bloodthorne combo. Underworld Connections, which is a Phyrexian Arena on a land. Animate Dead, you know, good to have reanimation. And finally, Eternal Thirst, which is a very good card with Drana. And finally, the last card of the deck is Liliana of the Dark Realms. She usually just becomes a very big dismember, but sometimes I use her for her ultimate as well, and that just makes the game not fun, considering the fact that you have a Cage Sun, a Urborg, and a Crypt Ghast out, and you just tap for 7 every time. Every time you tap a land, and that's not fun all the time. So yes, that was Kalitas Black Good Stuff Traitor of Ghet. This deck usually has 2 strategies, which is either tutor everything that you want to just, you know, kill your opponents with. Usually either Gary or Bloodthorne just to get it going. Or you can reanimate very early game. If you have the right cards, you can reanimate and just make the game not fun for them. You got pretty good reanimation targets like Leshrac and others. Sidisi is usually always a good one. But yeah, other strategies also include whether or not you have Kalitas on the board or not. Because usually you don't want opponents' creatures to die, you just kind of want them in the bin. In their bin, so you can Rise of the Dark Realms or something like that. Or you could just, you know, you would just want the zombies, and just to chain a Recurring Nightmare, for instance. So yes, that's the deck. Subscribe for monthly stuff about EDH. Like this video if you liked it, and you can comment what cards you think would be good in such a deck, and what cards in this deck that are total rubbish and should just be thrown away and not be played in this deck. I always read comments. It's very fun to read comments. I always like when videos were commented on. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time we do stuff. Yes, bye!